Thanks, babe. Look at our beautiful pieces of wood. That's my desk. And look at what it has on here. Cheeky little holes for epoxy. So this is the size, is all awesome. Beautiful. Then these two are two separate cuts, and we're gonna put them together so they'll match up properly like that. Epoxy in that bit as well, and that will be the dining table. So we're just thinking one person top and bottom, and then two people per side. And then we've got two of these pieces here, which will be a shelf here under our, at the moment is our mood board thing for the living room and our plan, but it'll kind of be around that level there, and the other one will be this side as our bar alcohol section. How exciting is that? So yeah, and our plan is to have a U-beam across the top, across the middle and across the bottom, embedded in, so underneath you won't see it or feel it as such. And then a hairpin leg on each corner as well. What colour epoxy should we put in it? Green. Ooh. That made me quite excited then. Ah. Ooh, yes. Let me. Oh yeah. Oh, that looks so nice. Just to give a little idea. Oh yeah. Probably not as close to that corner as that. Yeah, that's it. That will have an alcohol section, little bit of maybe even a cheeky little neon light above the alcohol.
Faux plants on the wall.
Definitely faux plants.
Ivy.
Oh yeah. Alcohol. This is currently our garage with Robal playing with wires. And there is a little bird. What bird is it that lives in here, Rob?
It's a blue or yellow tit. Flies out if it goes to the back.
So we don't want to upset it or it to abandon a nest or anything, so but we think it's coming in through the sides of kind of up there somewhere. So at this point it's the beginning of the day. I'm ready to sand. I'm ready to just crack on and get an annoying job done, aka sanding, so I love all the other jobs. But it just didn't want to happen smoothly, so what you'll see now is where the sandpaper is just so brittle against the sander, it just keeps breaking off. And I was really gutted because I definitely wanted to get the sanding done today, but luckily Rob was there to help me. Nothing's ever simple, is it? So basically, I've got very frustrated. I get when I don't use a tool that's a correct tool or something like that, or just anything. If I'm doing something and I haven't got the right tools for it, I get off because I know that I can do it and I know it's going to be great, but something's like there's an obstacle in my way. So the obstacle today is, it's not the sander's fault. This is the first thing I want to just explain. It's not the sander's fault. However, this isn't a Velcro one. So what keeps happening is I've got sanding pads and they just keep ripping off, so it just keeps flapping open, which is fun. So we've just been talking about different scenarios, and Rob said about he knows of these pads that you can buy for the bottom of these, which makes them Velcro, and then you can attach the Velcro sanding stuff to them and then it won't come off, and then it doesn't need to clip into anything. But Rob is also, what is it? Getting an old t-shirt. Is that an old t-shirt or?
It's a large, and I'm not large.
Okay. He's getting a t-shirt. Put some Gorilla Glue on it. leaving that to dry. You doing the full length though?
What?
Because that's going to be too long for this, isn't it?
No, this piece of this is the right length for that.
Yeah, but this is... No, you're not understanding. That's going to be where these curl over, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, you're going to have the same problem.
No, because they won't tear. Because the material.
Yeah, but it doesn't... Just because it's attached to material doesn't mean this top bit isn't too brittle. I thought you said cutting it into a perfect square. So this is the situation. So leaving it to dry on there and then using it on the sander. But between that frustrating me squashing my fingers between the wood and getting no sympathy. He's lucky he's cute. And here you now see that I have received something that I ordered off Amazon, which was the actual mechanics for the gas canisters. So now I can start burning my wood. Right, so I had a bit of a mare today with the sandpaper. It just really grates me when, like, I want it done properly, and I will put all my time and effort into getting it done. I don't care how long it takes me to get it done, I will get it done. If I'm using a tool that isn't to its best capability, something like that, I just get really wound up very quick. So this sums up the kind of guy that Rob is. This explains in just a perfect video as to one of the reasons why I love him so much. But basically, because I was so gutted about the fact that sanding just wasn't happening, and the sandpaper we did have left were these really bad ones that Rob is actually putting glue on top of the sand part of it now. And because we didn't have any others, so I couldn't even use our other sander for it, which is a more detailed sander, Rob was then using Gorilla Glue, putting them onto the damaged part of the sander pads that had already been overused already, and was gluing them to fresh new sandpaper that you will see him do now. And that's just the kind of guy, he'd just take it. He had stuff planned already that day, and I didn't even ask him or anything. He literally was just like, you know what, you want to do this, let me help, I've got like an idea. And we did end up using them in the end, but as you will see soon enough, it wasn't that day. But yeah, through no fault of his own or anything, it literally, you'll see why later. But yeah, this is just the kind of person he is. So I'm a very lucky gal. But he was straight on this, getting it all ready, and it was perfect. And actually they were really, really sturdy. So if this is an option for you and you've run out of sandpaper, I do recommend it. So, wow, what are you doing? Why are you eating the wire?
The isolation switch for the fan in the bathroom, because we don't have one at the moment, and it's just damp as hell. Not that hell's damp, but yeah, it's super damp in there when we've had a shower, so it's not a fun experience. So yeah, nothing to do.
So what are you doing? Why are you eating it?
I've just got a perfect gap in my teeth to be able to strip wire. I discovered that young. Good. Isolation switch for the bathroom extractor fan. I'm not wiring it in yet, so it's just getting the isolation switch in, and then we'll do all the work upstairs at a later date. So I'm just marking where I'm going to drill for the screw holes. Save the job at a later date.
And now let's see the man of the hour in action. This again is something that, I mean, I wouldn't have a clue where to start with anything like this, but he just knew exactly what to do, and if he didn't know off the top of his head, he would look it up. He did a lot of research into doing things like this because it was the first time he was doing it as well. And he just cracked on. He just knew what he needed to order. He's quite good with electrics, considering he's not an electrician, but because it's a house that obviously we're living in, he was there was no immediate rush, but an extractor fan in the bathroom was quite essential, really, because you don't, we've got a window in there and it's all well and good having that open, but with our fabulous heaters that we've got, we don't really fancy spending 50 quid a day heating up the place, so it's nice not to have the window open. So it's made a huge difference, and even now we're just really grateful that it's up. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Like a glove. Like I've done it before.
What, screw? Yeah, you have.
Keeping it PG.
My viewers will be so disappointed. And now let's join Rob in one of his favourite places in the house, the loft.
So that's the existing loft hatch, which is a pain in the arse to get up and down in, and it's quite cramped up here anyway. So what I'm going to do is move it to there. So it's going to start about there. It's going to go to approximately there. And all I've got to do is move the smoke alarm, and it should go there fine. I've installed a socket just there, which is actually running off the ring main, which goes across over to the junction box you see in the middle. So I can plug anything into it if I need tools up here. It's got the power and current to run in anything basically. So all I've done is put a standard light up there. I can actually unclip it and clip it wherever I like, but for now it's just there, so it's in the middle, and when the loft hatch is there I'll just be able to turn it on and off. So these are the boards I've put down so far. There's a lot more boxes to come up here yet. That's all the extra insulation that was up here. The previous owner had paid for an extra layer, and it was exactly the same as all that. So what I've done is I just removed it for now. There's actually a strip under each of these, so we retain the insulation. And then what I'll do is when I get some more loft boarding and do these other areas, I'll put more insulation down on them parts, so it's insulated. So the isolating switch that we put in earlier on, the two cables that come through the joist, I believe that one, yeah, that's the one that's going to run off of the lighting loop above the bathroom, and the other one is what's going to the extractor fan, which is just over there. And we're hoping to have the extractor fan go out of that wall with a flexi hose. Yeah, that's the situation in the loft so far. It's not majorly important, but I just need to be able to get up and down a lot easier, to be able to store things, and being able to take boxes over all these pipes between these beams. It's just a pain in the arse, and it's a quality of life thing rather than a necessity, because it's an absolute ball ache. As you can see, there's beams here, there and everywhere. I've already cut this diagonal from here to here. There's plenty of them in, so it shouldn't make any difference. When I cut it there wasn't any tension, so I'm safe on that front. So yeah.
And now is that magical time that I referred to earlier, where you're going to see for your very own eyes why we ended up not using the sandpaper that weekend. So what you'll see us using, yes, it is, we are using sandpaper, but only for a mere minute or two. So, but you know, you live and learn. What's 2020 without days like this? So we've just come out here to do some sanding, but then I'll show you the clip of what we're going to be doing next, and we've just realised that actually sanding it now is pretty pointless.
This is going to take fucking week of doing this.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not, because we're only doing like a little bit of sanding. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is fine, because it's going to be burnt, don't forget. It literally only needs to be like that. Look. It just needs this rough bit off.
Yeah, I've still got all the cut marks.
Yeah, but we're going to burn it. Honestly, because all of that, and then...
Can you use your little torch to try and burn a bit, see how it's going to come out?
Well,
Or what?
well, I don't know where it is, and I don't know where the gas is for it.
It's in there. In there.
If you know where it is, get it, yeah.
That's-
Because I think you're... Because don't forget, we're going to make it like black. So really, and then we're going to take a thin brush to it. What's it? It might not really... There's no gas in it. Oh. Should have ruined it.
Whilst you were watching the Flames of My Soul, I would just like to take this opportunity to thank you for watching my video, and please don't forget to subscribe.
Okay.
Who else completely agrees with me that watching something burn is just strangely satisfying?
Layer 1. If I do that again, you'll see.
The only reason, by the way, that I was doing 2 layers on this test was because the overall wood at the time when we were planning it was going to have 2 layers, because we did want it really dark and we wanted it very contrasty, and based on research you need 2 layers of burning.
So the only bits you're seeing there are the bits that are going with the grain, so you don't see any of that line going up.
When sanded wood is smoother than your own pickup lines.
Yeah?
So you can see on the clip that the whole plan is basically to burn the wood anyway, but then once we use a what was that? What brush is that? A wire. You know that's not varnish, is it?
No, it's not.
Oh, that's right. Self then. But once you burn it, which is the plan, and then use a wire wool brush and then sand it, it takes away all of those marks anyway that we were going to sand off today. So it's kind of pointless us sanding it today, really. And let me just show you a clip of Rob just cleaning them up, and you'll see how they're going to turn out.
Film from that way.
You're so bossy, man.
See what it's going to be like.
So you're not seeing, once we've done this, you're not seeing any of these lines that go through it. They're all burnt off and it's just all flat, and it's so smooth. We're just gonna wait till the canisters arrive and burn it. I'll be burning it. Rob with a flamethrower is a scary thought. So yeah, so that's made today's task a little bit obsolete, but that's okay. 10 out of 10 for effort. Anything to play with flames, honestly. This kid.
Just drying it out.
Ah. Don't do that with the dishes.